felt that a sovereignty of Germany is no longer necessary, and therefore France must control every aspect of Europeans. But unfortunately, Bismarck, as a skillful and talented individual, he knew fully well the ambitions of the French, and that is why he was very skillful, and he was outsmart the French government, and in doing so, secured the independence of Germany. And that is why the independence of Germany was proclaimed in the House of Mirror, the most expensive building in France in the Art era. And so the people of Southern Cameroon is not exception. Even the United States that we speak here is not exception. Those who form these great nations believe that United States cannot become a nation with the presence of the Great Britain. And that is why they spoke out. No taxation without a representative. And in doing so, they fought a series of wars against the British rule. And today, the United States is one of the most brilliant, the most admired nation on earth, on this planet. And if the United States stood against the British, freedom is never something that is given. It's always fought for. And so the people of Ambazonia today is standing up for the same purpose as the United States did several centuries ago. And so the people of Ambazonia is not different. There's always the aspect of people trying to block a nation to progress. And so when nations try to block an individual for their own selfish interests, rather than for the interests of the indigenous or the people. And so we stood up here, let the world understand that the people of Southern Cameroon is at war, or the people of Ambazonia is at war. And so we are saying we have taken up arms, and that we are taking up arms because we want to protect our people. Imagine that in a nation where our people are not respected, in a cohabiting relationship, our people are not respected, our people are not honored, but our people are taken for slaves. Because France, the architects of African brutality, believe that the control of the world of Africa belongs to the French. The economic prosperity of France is not defined by Africa. And so why should France, economic prosperity of Africa, be defined by the French? France has its boundary. And Africa living here and travel to France doesn't have a visa free. So France has a visa free to Africa, whereas the other way around is not true. So our people, the Federal Republic of Ambazonian, was never a colonial territory of La Republique. We are a sovereign people. We deserve the land that we claim to be where our brothers and sisters, our ancestors was born. And we grew up, we didn't believe in colonialism. We believe in a total freedom. We have demonstrated this freedom when we were elected our officials. And through a transparent, open democratic government, La Republique in that context has never exercised any meaningful government that has been elected. Since the past donkey years, since La Republique got its independence in 1960, they have never a conducive or a conduction of an election in a plain atmosphere where one leadership transfers power to the next. Our people has amplified this behavior when when Endele transferred power from an elected officials to the next. Jongu Fonja amplified the same behavior to Ngumjua, and we have demonstrated that skillful leadership. But unfortunately, the world ignored us because United Nations is the most corrupted body on earth, led by Antonio Guterres. And the office has been the scandalous, bribing and corrupted system since one have ever imagined that office. You all are aware, maybe you haven't, but that is why I am bringing this attention. Former Egyptian who was the head of the United Nations, Bill Clinton asked him to leave. And he left because it was one of the leadership that lacked skillful leadership at the United Nations. It became like a grazing land or a corrupted system as the current reform. late Kofi Annan, that just a few days ago has gone, he was the one that bring an admirable behavior to that body. But today that body has become the most worse than one has ever imagined. The most corrupted system that one can ever believe. Antonio Guterres, the current United Nations scribe, is the worst corrupted individual in the helm of that office. Remember when Bill Clinton, under the Kosovo crisis, United States restored peace, and now peace is now ringing in the Kosovo Peninsula. And so the people of Southern Cameroon is not exception, but however has made a block from the current United Nations Secretary General. He's their own document. They can't even recognize their own document that the United Nations predecessor signed, recognizing the people of Southern Cameroon as a sovereign nation. But unfortunately, he paid a deaf ear and even cannot even imagine that he is referring the Southern Cameroon case to someone or individual that has no potential or no power to do anything. And so our people has taken up arms as the choice. And so we are acknowledged to the rest of the world that our people has taken up arms. And so that is the solution to our problems, because we have expected the world community that was supposed to maintain peace and security has deliberately ignored. And because France, the architect of veto power, he vetoed every position when it comes to the people of Southern Cameroon. And he could not even allow any debate to be occurred. And so we are letting the people, the French government, understand that we will fight La Republique. We will use every aspect of our resources. And that is why I am appealing to every Southern Cameroon, wherever you are, here in the United States, Europe, if you can rationalize your meals, if you are spending $10, then you might use $7 and $3 used for reform the Ambazonian Defense Force, because that is the choice we have to take. If you are spending $300 for your meal, maybe you sacrifice $100 for the Ambazonian Defense Force, because this is the momentum that we have taken, because we have relied on the world, but they have betrayed us. They pay a deaf ear, but we must stand as one people, because we are capable to do so. We are notifying the world that we stand together for the sovereignty of the people of Southern Cameroon. Our independence is not negotiable. It was voted by the United Nations and therefore has ignored in execution process. And so therefore, we have asked La Republique. It seems they believe that they can control every aspect of our life. And so therefore, we must in every aspect dedicate our goal, our objective to protect our people and our women and the slaughtering horse. We believe in a government that is accountable. We believe in elected officials. You all witnessed the demonstration of our leadership in a just ended Washington March past. And our people responded promptly. And so we need to match our promptness with financial aspect. So join the momentum financially and regularly, because we are at war. We will not relinquish our effort till our people is free. And so I am speaking here in the great state of Texas, because we have used all available avenue to sustain and bring a common dialogue. But unfortunately, we meet a stiff bottleneck. And the only solution we can do is to face the reality. And that is taking up arms against the neighboring country, La Republique du Cameroon. What we can do, every bridges, we don't matter how long it's going to take us. We have all our engineering available at disposal and have been trained all over across the world. We can sacrifice ourselves and rebuild the Southern Cameroon. So every bridges that provide opportunity for La Republique to penetrate into our sovereignty must be broken down. Any linkage between La Republique and the people of Southern Cameroon must be break down. We use every aspect to our advantages, because this is the moment that we must demonstrate our philosophy of breaking down every aspect that connects us with La Republique. And so, doing so is the way to weaken that system. We must break every bridges that link us with La Republique, because that is where we will show La Republique that we were no longer part of this demagogy, because our sovereignty is no longer negotiable. So every linkage, once we identify that there are certain groups that are penetrating into our sovereignty, we need to form a defensive barrier, both front and behind, so that we sandwich the enemy and break down to whatever it is. And those Southern Cameroons that has not recognized our wishes, we are letting them know, because we will take them as an individual if they choose to persist and try to live and join hands with La Republique, because this is the moment that our sovereignty will no longer be negotiable. We will use all our value that we can, and we must fight and protect our people. We can't expect that our women are living in the forest, are using leaves and trees for their own medical protections. I mean, it is a damaging. I think I posted it on my Facebook. It is absolutely damaging that you will find our women using leaves because they have been forced to live in a forest because of unwarranted enemy that we have invited to our home, La Republique. And so that is why I am letting all our brothers and sisters, it's time we use all we have, because we are capable. All of us in the diaspora, so long as you live out of Southern Cameroon, whether you are in La Republique, you have an obligation to finance this momentum. So diaspora is not just the United States, Europe, it's everyone that is out of Southern Cameroon. You belong to the group called the diaspora. And so therefore, ask how you can be a part of this momentum, because the time has come. And those individuals that turn to participate with La Republique, including the ex-convicts, that has not ignored the reality and used propagandism as a means to his end. But unfortunately, he is going to return home and he will be exiled immediately, because the time has come that the people must stand firm